British Airways fleet at England International Airport on the 6th of December 2010. A request from Adams, Boeing 737. Today we'll start with narrow bodies at the airport, at the Terminal 1. First of all, arrival actually today, got it in the post this morning, is a British Airways A319. Now this aircraft is extremely rare. It's my first British Airways Airbus 319 that I've ever owned. And the registration is GEUPA. Very, very cool and nice detail on the wing. Airbuses from Gemini Jets seem to have really good detail on the wing. Nav lights, which is really nice. Now if I move it over here, you can see the other side of the aircraft. And there you go, Airbus 319 in between the cabin windows and the registration. And this aircraft just has the one over wing exit, and there are other arrows to point you off the wing in case of an emergency. Bottom, this plane doesn't have rolling rubber tyres because Gemini Jets have only introduced them recently, and this aircraft I think was brought out in around 2001. So they're just the good wheels, normal wheels, Gemini Jets, and I don't even see but the little hole where to put the stand. Registration, and it's just a really nice looking aircraft. Now move on to a British Airways 767-300 or 336 ER. This is a lovely plane. Again, no rolling rubber tyres, but I prefer them without really. They look more realistic, I believe. Registration GBNWD. I use these on flights to New York, Newark, Moscow, and kind of far parts in Europe, for places in Europe. Nav lights. Let's turn this beast around, and as registration, go to the Rolls-Royce engines with the Rolls-Royce logo on them. That's the bottom underneath. Gemini Jets again. Registration. That is that. Now, wide bodies at the airport. First of all, the A380-800. Now this plane hasn't been brought into service by British Airways yet. I think when they made Gemini Jets, the aircraft hadn't come into service at all, when they made the A380, sorry. So the detail is still incredible, but I think that's, like this, for example, the 747's been out for years. They've added as much detail as possible because they know exactly what the plane is like, whereas this aircraft has really only just come out, so they're still adding detail, because I've got a Thai which I see more detail on this BA A380 than I do on the Thai A380. New, really cool Rolls-Royce engines. What I've also noticed, not only does this plane have landing rubber tyres, as you can see, but they also tilt down like a real A380 would, if you can see there, which is what Phoenix usually have. All Gemini Jets have rolling rubber tyres, fair enough, but I haven't seen any that actually tilt like it's coming into land, like a real plane would. This is the first rolling rubber tyres on Gemini Jets that I've seen tilt as well, which is a really nice addition. Again, Gemini Jets logo, GBBIG is the registration of this aircraft. Big, it is a big beast. And that is the 380. Now move on to a 777-300 ER. They've only just come into service, but they have been in service for British Airways, but they have been in service for a very well, for a long time, so they can add as much detail as possible because they know what they look like. Overwing exit and the arrows. One of my favourite planes. GBAER is the registration. And right at the back, oh, you can't see it. Here it says Boeing 777-300ER. There, right, really small. Again, Rolls-Royce beast engines. And on the bottom, no rolling rubber tyres on this. BAER, Gemini Jets and a whole. Again, Boeing 777-300ER, BAER, the British Airways logo. Now move on to a 787. This plane was made before I think it even started its test flights, so it's minimal detail. Still amazing detail, but extremely sparse opposed to A319 or 747 that's been up for a long time, but still very, very good detail. Now I don't know if these registrations will be made up because they haven't been brought into service yet. GBDRM, because I know British Airways have got a couple of these on order. It's the 800 series, 787-800, Rolls-Royce engines. Rolling rubber tyres on this as well, which is nice. As you can see. Nice plane. British Airways 747-436, ONEWORLD livery. It's my favourite aircraft, especially in the British Airways livery. You got ONEWORLD logo, and then ONEWORLD. Small British Airways font, member of ONEWORLD. Awesome detail on this aircraft. As you can see, like the little red things which I think say to brake in an emergency. They're the places to crack the fuselage. Rolls-Royce beast engines. Nav light. Rolling rubber tyres again, but they don't tilt like the A380. Same on the other side of the fuselage. Very nice aircraft this is. Gemini Jets. They're the beast. And this registration is GCIVP. I have two other jumbo jets, I just won't go into much detail with them. They're just the normal livery, as you can see, normal British Airways livery. These don't have rolling rubber tyres. And the registration for this one is GCIVV, and my other one here is GCIVZ. Now move on to British Airways 777-200ER or 236ER. Again, one of my favourite aircraft. Very, very nice indeed. Very nice detail as well. Gemini Jets have brought out two of these. The previous one had silver on the wing, where it's in between the two lines there, and the red, it was kind of a bit squashed. It was a bit darker. Like if you see what I mean. That's kind of stretch livery, and that's kind of the squashed. If you can see, the top line is quite squashed. There's a lot of white, whereas not much white on here. I think there's a slight change in livery, but they've still got both types in service. Like, which is really cool. Rolls-Royce beast engines, and you got the Royal Mail because they do a bit of a Royal Mail service, and GYMMO, Boeing 777 on the back fuselage. No rolling rubber tyres on this aircraft. Gemini Jets, typical thing, and that is part one done, and I'll move to part two in a second. Thank you guys.